G'day team, Jeremy Britton, 24-hour wealth coach, down after my sunrise meditation in a new location. At the moment I'm on the Gold Coast doing a course down here, so instead of sitting on the beach, I'm close by a little lake down here. Lovely spot. And because it's different, things are different. And where I am, there happens to be a lot. They're gone shy now, but take it from me. 2 minutes ago there was a lot of ants here, and I'm okay with the ants. I'll sit with the ants. Once you stop fighting with nature, realise that you are part of nature, you can actually just coexist. And I don't get bitten by ants anymore, which is a good thing. But while I'm sitting here doing my meditation, just relaxing and being very still, and the idea is not to let the mind get distracted, not to let the body get distracted. So if your foot falls asleep or anything happens, it's got to be very still, very disciplined. So as I'm sitting here, there's people walking past, as there are now, there's birds, there's fish jumping, things like that, and there's always plenty of distractions. And occasionally your foot falls asleep or something happens in your body, you might get a cramp, but just sit with it and be still, let the mind be still and the body be still. Meanwhile, back to the ants. While I'm sitting down on the beach, of course there's no ants, there is the occasional crab, but the ants are crawling and starting to crawl all over my body this morning, and going on my face, up my arms, inside my clothes, up my armpits. And a lot of people don't realise this, but ants actually communicate using ESP. They don't have a big meeting every morning and the queen of the ants says, okay, you guys go off and forage for food, you guys go off and get water, you guys repair the nest because it rained last night, you guys make a new hole for where we're going to stick the eggs. They actually just communicate using another form of communication, which I'm calling ESP. Quantum physicists are going to talk about photons and things like that. Interestingly, with the ants, if you take the queen out of the nest, the ants will continue to build a nest. Even if you put the queen in a concrete bunker 20 kilometres away, they'll continue to do their thing, making the nest, getting the food. But if you happen to kill that ant, even though she might be 20 kilometres down the road, if you happen to kill the queen, all work on the nest will stop. They just don't have a leader, they don't know what to do. So as the ants are crawling all over my body and getting into uncomfortable places and tickling my skin, I'm trying to communicate with the ants and going, look, don't go there. Don't go to there. It's okay to crawl over my feet and my hands and my elbows, but there's just some regions of my body which are a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more ticklish. So I'm trying to communicate with the ants. And some listen and move on down the legs and off the feet, and some don't. And of course the temptation then is to try and brush the ants away, and if they continue on their path and continue to irritate or tickle or go in what I consider the wrong areas, then after I've communicated with them, after I've tried to brush them away, then I might feel the temptation to actually want to brush them a bit harder or smack them or kill them or whatever. So as I'm sitting here and continuing to just be with the ants and ignore the distraction, I'm thinking, what if that's what it's like for God with us? And occasionally he sees some of us little ants wandering around and going on the wrong path, and he's trying to actually send messages to you. Unless you spend time in prayer and meditation, you're not actually in communication with God. You can't actually understand what he's talking to you about. And occasionally the universe will actually give you a message, or God will give you a message to put you back on course. You might miss a meeting, you might sleep in, you might not hear the alarm, you might not hear the truck coming, and you get bigger and bigger hints until you actually listen to the message. So there is a way of getting back on path. Obviously spending time in communication with nature, with the universe, with God, prayer, meditation, occasionally taking a break from your very busy schedule just to get in touch with what's really important and what messages are coming to you. That way you can stay on path, stay on track, and avoid those big smacks around the head that occasionally happen when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'll talk to you soon, on the beach, on the lake, in the ants nest, or at 24hourwealthcoach.com.